do you need to do?
I need to put the password on it, so it.
Doesn't do this?
Yeah, 'cause I don't want to admit it.
Okay. Do you want me to do it?
No, it's too late now.
Jessica.
It's Jessica. Actually, according to
That reminds me of, oh, you like this one.
I do. What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? Comment in the chats. How is everybody's day been? Come on. Yeah.
Somebody go lay down.
All right, video's on if you can. We're showing up here 100%, and I love it. I love it. Hey, everybody, this is good.
You guys, who else has been ripping today since we got back from celebration? I was about to fall asleep 10 minutes ago. Then James was like, not yet. Turned on some music, feeling hyped again.
Guys, I have been
Nonstop.
nonstop, literally since the feet hit the floor this morning, and it has been one wonderful day, as I know many of you know, because we have been in communication. Let's see, we got a chat here. Hold on. Let's turn that off. Mallory has set up 2 calls for tomorrow and Wednesday. Guys, give Mallory some kudos for that. I know Allie says I'm back.
Okay, well, never leave, sister. You're back. You're here to stay. We want to see your face every week because let me tell you what, girlfriend, there is a new energy and you want to be a part of it. And we actually have really missed you on the calls, which is why I tagged you in the post because I realized that you have not been on the calls. We notice those things. We notice who's on, who's showing up. So I'm so glad to see your face back on here.
That is right. We're going to keep admitting people. And I hope everyone has a pen, a paper, your notepad that you had from the weekend, or if you weren't there in Charlotte with us or tuned in live to celebration virtually, grab something. And you know, when I do these big sprints, when we have done these times where we've run really hard, having a consolidated notebook where everything goes, you can track your work, you can go back and see who you've talked to, who you need to follow up with. Listen, guys, in these times where there's massive momentum, where there's lots of conversations, we don't want people falling through the cracks. I've probably had 20 conversations with people today. And if I lose those conversations, then that's on me. That's not on them. So just whatever organization style you have, make sure you stick to that. I know we have a lot of organizational type people in here who are probably good with Excel and, you know, what have you. So we are ready to get rocking and rolling.
And I got a brand new notebook. So I like whipped that thing out. I was like, I'm feeling so good. The weekend was so amazing. For those of you that were at Celebration in Charlotte, just take a couple comments, type in the chats, you know, what that experience was for you, and like maybe a couple words or a couple sentences, because I know that James and I have been buzzing ever since, and it's been so evident in our action today and what it's looked like. New life, Derek, so rejuvenating, life-changing, clear vision, Kate and Jake, it was everything. Which, by the way, if you were at the white party and you saw Jake, were you like, this guy looks like somebody I know? Because I looked at him and I was like, who does he look like? And then I looked at Kate and I said, he looks like Thomas Rhett. And she started laughing and said, he gets that a lot. So love that.
Glad to have Thomas Rhett on the team. I want to give one shout out. I've given him a lot of shout outs today, but guys, this is really impactful. Eric Blackman has been texting me nonstop, And I want everybody to give him some love in the chats. He's already enrolled one person today. He has 2 other meetings set up this week. Now, guys, I'm just going to be honest with you because I know he would be this honest. He was talking to me on Sunday. He goes, James, I've been with you guys for a year and a half. I have always said that there's nobody in my network, that I can't talk to anybody, that nobody wants to do Isagenix with who I'm talking with. And all of a sudden now I just open my mouth, my energy countenance is different, and these people want to enroll and they want to sit down with me. It can happen that fast. Eric, I am so proud of you, man. I'm so excited that you just said, hey, I'm going for it. I'm jumping out there. You already have an enrollment. You're going to have several enrollments this week. And I know so many of you all are moving in that same veracity. But Eric, I'm really proud of you, man, because, and I heard Zanetta say on the call this morning, you know, I've been at this place for so long and I'm ready to move. I'm ready to be in a different spot. And I feel that shift taking place. So we're talking tonight about goal setting, about setting up your month for tremendous success. And we're going to kind of go through a little bit of what we are doing personally. We're going to share what our activity is going to look like, what our goals are going to be. And then we also really welcome everybody and encourage everybody to write down not only your own goals, but to share with this group tonight what your goals are, because one of the points that we're going to touch on is high accountability. So
really, when James said get out your pen and paper, we don't want you to just listen to what our goals are and how to hit your goals, but we really want you to take action on this call to be very tangible with writing down what you want to see specifically this month. Okay, so we're talking about setting up your week and setting up your month. So we're only going to look at August right now. What I found when it comes to goal setting is if I look at a really big vision, which if you're on this call, you see Isagenix as a very big picture for your life. I get that. I'm driven by a big picture, but a lot of times we can get stunted with our goals and with our growth. If we look so big, it can stop us from taking that initial step. So what we're going to talk about tonight is literally setting yourself up week by week, specifically for the month of August. Go like this if that sounds good and you're ready for it. All right, highly engaged.
So I want everybody to visualize. Everyone knows the Olympics are going on right now. Track and field is the best event that most people love to watch, right? You have these runners that they just run. It's the most basic thing. It's the most fundamental. It's wonderful. As a runner, you don't necessarily, okay, I'm not going to say I'm an Olympic, running trainer, but as a runner, somebody that uses their legs, you don't train to become a faster runner by doing pull-ups, right? You're exercising, you're moving your body, but you're not training to actually, that's not something that's actually getting you faster, making your legs stronger, making your revolutions turn quicker, or stretching your legs so that the stride length is longer. Pull-ups, push-ups, these things that are working out do not constitute as necessarily helping you become faster as a runner. So the first thing when it comes to setting up your month is not just setting goals. Because if I'm a runner and I want to say I want to run a 4-minute mile, I'm going to do 100 pull-ups every day. Most people that understand, physics and working out would be like, well, I don't see how those two are going to go hand in hand at all. How are you going to get closer to your goal by doing pull-ups? Is this making sense? So likewise, we need to set the right goals. It's not just enough to have goals. We need to set the right goals that are going to produce what? What are we wanting the goals to produce? Somebody comment in the chats. What are we looking for? Results.
Yeah, baby.
We are looking for results. That's what you are looking for. When you are setting up these goals for yourself, that will be, very personal to you. You want to ask yourself what is going to yield results. And so with that, we have found that when it comes to getting results, bringing forth results, we talked about it ad nauseum this weekend. It is talking about the business. It simply comes down to how many times are you showing the plan? Shout out to Joey for showing the plan today on a scrap piece of paper in the batting cages. How many times are you showing the plan per week? That is a great baseline, okay? If you are wanting to run 1,000 miles in a year, like Joni McLeod, my mom, yes, she ran and is running again, I believe, 1,000 miles in a year. You want to talk about consistency and training for something. How do you run 1,000 miles in a year? You break it up bit by bit and you go one day at a time and you train one day at a time. If you are wanting to grow a business with Isagenix, it is imperative that you show this plan and you set for yourself a bar of how many times you are going to show the plan in a week's time frame. And we like to use week time frames because they're, we get paid weekly. It's a good kind of reset of, okay, I have 7 days to get X amount done. And like I said, we're going to get into the specifics in 1 second. But the first variable that you need to ask yourself, you're on here saying, I would love to, create a secondary income, have this be a primary income, have this be a very large primary income with Isagenix. The baseline of that is how many times are you showing the plan?
So if you were at Celebration, Lane and Chelsea Taylor did an impeccable job talking about leader in action, right? I mean, guys, we have some of the world's best trainers right here on Freedom Living Team. Ellen Kimball and Kathy Waldrop also trained. Kathy shared her story. Ellen trained on consistency. We have the best of the best in this organization, and I just wanted to give them a shout out as well. But Lane and Chelsea really talked about leader in action. We've talked about leader in action on our Monday calls, when they were Sunday calls as well, and how easy it is to track your personal enrollments, your team's personal enrollments, rank advancements, and whether you're paid as manager, paid as director, or paid as executive. Those 4 things are things to really focus on to build your business, but we really want to break that down as to how you're actually going to have a rank advancement. Because a lot of times I will have a goal by saying, I want to create 3 consultants this month. Well, how do I actually create 3 consultants? You create 3 consultants by showing the plan, because when you show the plan, you can get somebody really excited about what's possible. So what James and I have decided to do as our weekly goal is we are committed to showing the plan a minimum of 2 times each week individually. 2 times for me, 2 times for James, minimally. Now, showing the plan doesn't mean connecting and saying, hey, I love your Instagram post. Would you be open to taking a look? Okay. What we've decided to do is we are showing the compensation plan. When you show the compensation plan to a brand new person, that is going to cause them to get into action. So for us, our baseline this month in August is 2 people showing the plan each week. Now, if you're on this call, you can either adapt that and say, I want to do 2 as well, or you can say, I want to do 1, or you can say, I want to do 4. Do what feels right for you. When James and I made our goals up for this month, we really talked about what we felt like was really doable, something that was going to push us and encourage us, but not cause us to burn out. Now, when you're showing the plan, I'm going to break this up 2 different ways. It's showing the plan to a brand new person, yes. But it can also be showing the plan to somebody who is in your downline as a product user that hasn't yet seen the compensation plan. Now, there has been numerous trainings over the course of years on Freedom Living Team. And as I'm looking at everybody on this screen right here, right now, everybody on here should know how to write out the compensation plan at this point.
There's some new people on. There's some new people.
Okay. Most of the people should be able to write out the compensation plan. And if you're brand new, we want to help you write out the compensation plan. Chelsea Taylor, we've uploaded the video of her writing it out. There's one on Freedom Living Team product page of me doing Eat for Free. So there's resources available.
Now, I want to just pause for a second, because in sharing personally what we are choosing to do on a weekly basis by showing 2 people the plan, just be really honest. Who initially felt like that was a low number for James and Audrey McLeod to be doing? Just comment in the chats if you felt like it was. Okay, yeah, a lot of people did. That's great. So when you run 1,000 miles in a year, it comes down to 2.7 miles a day. And if you're telling somebody I'm going to go run 1,000 miles, well, that's a big feat. But if you say, hey, I'm just going to run 2.7 miles every day for 365 days, that sounds really unglamorous. It sounds really unsexy. It sounds really just kind of like, okay, cool, man. But by the end of the year, you've logged 1,000 miles. Now, how many people will Aude and I have showed the plan to if we have shared this with 2 people each every week for an entire year? How many brand new people will have seen the plan? Yes. Over 200 people will have seen this compensation plan and known the power of residual income, compounding, and the opportunity that is available for everybody. Do you think that there is a chance that we might see some serious growth if we stay this course and show the plan to 208 brand new people over the next 52 weeks? You bet. But here's the key. And this is what it requires you to get very honest with yourself. It is about pacing. It is about finding a consistent pace that you can run at, and you can hold yourself accountable and be held accountable. Now, look, if we're showing the compensation plan to 2 brand new people every single week, what does that mean also is happening? We're connecting with new people. We're constantly expanding our network. We're constantly having, new initial conversations about, hey, do you ever keep your options open for ways to make additional income on top of what you're doing currently right now? You've got an amazing skill set while you're, waiting us at our table. All of these other things are taking place to lead to us showing the compensation plan twice a week. Is this making sense? So it's not just I'm having 5 conversations with people on Instagram. Guys, that, let me tell you, is a weak goal. I am all about making strong goals that produce strong results, because you're all on this call because you want a different result. You came to, for those who came to Charlotte, you're leaving different. And that's what I love hearing. And so in that, we're going to be focused on different results, which require different actions. So 2 new, and I already have my 2 comp plans set up this week, but here's what's great. We've got to get 2 more next week. It resets, the clock resets every single week. So you can't live off of yesterday's success ever. It keeps you consistent and it keeps you honest. So that's one of the variables we're doing is 2 per week.
And now let me just say one last thing about that. 208 times in a year that we'll show the plan. How many people out of those 208 do you think are going to get turned on to the compensation plan and then say, hey, James and I've got a whole network of people. Can you just show the compensation plan to my network of people? So you're showing it. So really that 208 from that compounding that we're showing that comp plan to is going to turn into thousands. That's the compound effect of this residual income.
And Zanetta, to answer your question, we show, yes, you share, they share, and then we show the residual. What Patty showed over the weekend, which is 1 left, 1 right, 10 down the team leg, is a little bit more advanced. That's for us probably a 2nd or 3rd conversation, depending on the person you're speaking with. That is a little bit more information than an initial person needs right up front.
So let's go into the other weekly goal / monthly goal that James and I are doing. So not only are we showing the plan to new people, 2 per week, both individually, but we're also setting up calls anywhere ranging from, how many did we decide to do?
Well, we're doing 8.
Okay, so James and I are doing 8, depending on your organization.
I wouldn't encourage anybody else to do 8, just being honest.
Okay, so depending on your organization, pick a number that feels in congruency and in alignment with you that will give you long-term results. Now, what we are doing is we are taking the time to connect with people who are in our downline, leaders who want to grow and explode their income. So what we're also doing is we're massaging and leading people who are in our organization who want to grow their income as well. And what those calls are going to look like, pouring belief into them. It's going to look like strategy of saying, what income do you want to receive this month and how can we help you get there? What do you feel like your greatest holdups are and how can we help you overcome it? Basically, these calls are activation calls to get people into massive action, and maybe not even massive action, just any action at all. And so we're really focusing on the activity. We're focusing on the activity that is going to drive what Lane and Chelsea so beautifully shared about the leader in action formula. We're doing the very action necessary to help us and to help this entire team move forward.
So we're doing, like we said, we're doing 8, but we have a rather large organization and we have that type of personnel that we can continue to do those calls. Even if it's one, guys, if you have a consistent weekly call with one person who is interested in sharing, becoming a consultant, becoming a manager, and these calls are intentional and they are goal oriented and they're action oriented, they can be highly effective. But more than anything, you're going to have your finger on the pulse of how you can better serve the people that are in your organization. And that is a big, that's a great leadership skill to have, is having, your hand where you can say, hey, you're reaching out saying, hey, how can I serve you this week? How can I be there and help you hit your goals this week? So with that,
one last thing.
Yeah.
If you're newer to Isagenix and maybe your organization, maybe you have 3 people in your organization, or maybe you have 10 people in your organization, or maybe you've enrolled your very first person. Let your goal be connecting with that one person.
Yeah.
Connecting with that one person. You don't have to have this big, audacious, I need to connect like James and I are. Focus on the one, because we want this call to be for every person, the brand new people who we're seeing on this call and the people who just came back from celebration who are absolutely on fire for what this opportunity can bring.
And again, let me just be very, very clear. These are James and Audrey's goals that we are sharing with you. I was debating on sharing these with you tonight because the last thing I want to do is impose anything that we are doing on to you and what you feel is congruent. However, I also feel that it's powerful. We share the activities that we are holding ourselves to over these next several months as we really do take this entire team to a brand new level. So in no way do I want people to feel, neither one of us to feel, pressured or like, oh gosh, like I don't even have anybody. I'm in my 2nd week, or maybe I just enrolled my first person in a long time. How am I going to be doing weekly Zoom calls? Don't sweat that. Really, the I want to go back to the very beginning thing that I said. If you are showing the compensation plan 2 times, 3 times, however many times you feel per week to new people, there will become a quick demand for your time and your resources for other people to glean inspiration, knowledge, and direction from you. Do not give yourself unnecessary work when it's not needed right now. That first behavior is going to be the absolute highest ROI on your time, energy, and effort. The last thing I want to say is that leaders, people who are successful in this business and in anything, you guys will all agree, have an insanely high level of accountability. They have it first with themselves. They do not let themselves go to sleep on their goals. And if you're somebody on this call and you're feeling this energy, you're feeling this fire, you can have this residual income. You can cycle 5, 10, 15, 20 times, 40, 50, 100 times per week, making thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars per week residually. If you're feeling that right now and you're saying, yes, this is me. I know I can do this. This is home. This is absolutely my time. The accountability first has to start with you. You and you only know what you're doing throughout the day, unless you have a spouse and you're sitting in the same room all day. But going to sleep with yourself proud, going to sleep with yourself saying, you know what? I said I was going to connect with 3 people. I remember, we've talked to Zach and Eden several times, and Eden said, when we're in our big push phases, it'll be at the end of the day, because he and him are high accountability partners, and they know each other's goals and they don't let each other slip on their goals. They say, we're business partners. You said you were going to connect with 5. Have you connected with 5? And if they're in bed and she's like, no, I've only connected with 4, she gets her butt out of bed and she goes down and she connects with somebody else before she goes to sleep. That is an attribute of somebody that is serious about going to where they want to go. And so there's a high level of accountability personally, and then there's a high level of accountability with those, in your sphere. It doesn't have to be necessarily in your organization. Guys, there is so much community right here. Our thread for the people that have come from Celebration is going ballistic all day. And I know that it's promoted so much activity because other people are seeing the action that is taking place, and it's causing people to feel inspired and move forward with enthusiasm.
Now, if you're sitting on this call and you're like, man, I wish I was at Celebration. I'm feeling the energy. They have this group thread. I want you to write this date down in your calendar right now. Saturday, September 25th. This team is partnering with Isagenix and with Chris Estes, who is the #4 income earner worldwide in Isagenix, and we are going to Nashville, Tennessee for a massive Super Saturday. I mean, we're looking at, there's probably going to be about 650 people at this event. So you're talking about really high energy, really amazing stories. You're going to be in the room with people who are doing the do, having the results. And if you are somebody who's like, hey, I'm leaving Celebration and I'm different, Kelsey and Eric, they are different. Everybody who left that event, they're different. Derek and Melissa are different. Our activity today has been different. So whether you just got back from Celebration or you didn't go to Celebration, buy your ticket and get there. Tickets are not a lot of money to get to Nashville. You can share a room, get an Airbnb. Kathy Waldrop had an idea of getting a room block for Freedom Living Team, and I'm going to look into that tomorrow and let you guys know. But write that down and make that a non-negotiable. Also, next Thursday at 7 p.m. at Lane and Chelsea Taylor's, we are having an Isagenix overview where people can come and see the plan. So come, and don't just come by yourself. Bring somebody new in your organization already, or somebody brand new that hasn't enrolled in Isagenix yet. So
2 things. Is anybody fired up on this call? Is anybody kind of buzzing a little bit?
Let me see if I can get that.
Yeah, I am. So 2 things about this event in September. 1, we will be having the one and only Dr. Josh Plant flying out. He will be at the event. He will be speaking. He will be training. That is a huge deal. And we will also have Mac Larson, who is the Vice President of Sales over the entire company. This is going to be an epic event. And there's going to be some training on Friday, I believe, the second half of the day on Friday as well. We're going to get back to you with more details on that as they come up. Second thing is, I love what Aud just said. Guys, she made a post in Freedom Living Team. Do not come to this event next week. If you've been to Celebrate, if you've been around a little bit, if this is your first call, take this with a grain of salt. But we challenge you to walk in the stature, the posture of saying, I'm not coming to Lane and Chelsea's for this overview unless I bring a new person. And I'm going to tell you right now that I'm going to hold myself to that I will not be at that overview next week unless I have somebody new with me. That is something I am holding myself to, because think about it. We have 25, 30 people who are usually already enrolled, at these events, monthly. What if every single person just brought one and there was 50, 60 people that we had to be meeting outside in the backyard, and people walked in and initially they were just like, what the heck is going on here? I've got to be a part of this. These people, there's not even room to sit down. And Lane and Chelsea are scrambling all around being like, we got to get chairs. We're going over to the neighbor's house, grabbing chairs and bringing them in. That is momentum. What if everybody just brought one? It has to start with you. High self-accountability. We are, guys, I'm telling you, there are people right now, emerging leaders on this team, who the whole entire company is going to know, who is going to be able to train, lead, and have tips of success of how they went from here to here in whatever amount of time. They are on this call right now, emerging leaders, people that are saying, I want this for my life and I'm willing to go after it. So my encouragement to leave the call is to write down your goals, to write them down and to share them with somebody else, to speak it out, say this is going to be my weekly activity. Again, just for August, we're talking about August here. This is going to be my activity that I'm committing to myself and to my future self, my future kids, my family, people around me. This is what I'm committing to. Write it down and speak it out. If you want to share it in a group thread, great. If you want to text Odd and myself, great. If you want to share it on Freedom Living Team Business, great. The more accountability you can hold yourself to, the better. I just told all of you that I'm not coming to the overview next week unless I have a guest coming. So you think I'm bringing a guest? You bet I am. I'm going to find a way to make it work because I just put it out there. So we are so excited for this brand new month.
And I want everybody to take a second to go into your chat. And I just posted the specific link to get the tickets to the September 24th and 25th Super Saturday in Nashville. Tickets are only $30, you guys. It's going to be life-giving. It's going to be game-changing. So what I want you to do is I want you to copy that link because this is going to be the event that you build to. This can be, when it comes to your goal setting for this week and each week this month, how many people are you going to bring into that event? How many people in your organization are you going to have there? Dom and Allie, Leo.
Comment in the chats how many people you would have liked to have at this weekend, this past event in your team. How many people would you have liked to have sitting next to you in that event? A ton.
Yes. So it's only $30, you guys. Super, super doable. Gina's flying in from California. Kathy's flying in
Come on.
from
Vermont.
I always want to say Virginia, but it's Vermont, the V. So we're excited, guys.
Patricia, to answer your quick question about COVID, we've had no issues with people gathering, people, having any sorts of scares or feeling uneasy. If anybody would like to bring or to wear a mask in the space, they're more than welcome to. However, we will not be requiring it at all. Since this is an optional social gathering, people can really do what they please. And we hope they feel safe because we're all healthy people. So with that, we will see everybody on the call next Monday. And we're going to see those who are in Knoxville at the overview next Thursday with your guests. Guys, it's time to grow. It's time to get out there and it's time to turn these dreams into reality. We love you guys. Talk next week.
Bye.